This first one was sent in via email, the CornyDriveThru@gmail.com from Charlie in Starkville, Mississippi. And this is something that recently took place, I guess, as this show airs a week ago. I don't know how closely you have followed it, so I'll fill in any details you need. What are your thoughts on Corey Graves taking shots at Mauro Ranallo on Twitter and Ranallo deleting his account? Considering Ranallo's history, especially when it comes to bullying, how do you think the WWE should handle the situation with Graves?
Are you just determined to just make me the bane of everybody's existence? Ask me all these hot button controversial topics and here, oh my God. I once again, I love Mauro Ranallo's commentary. And I haven't heard that much of Corey Graves, so I can't comment on his commentary, but everybody seems to hate him and be taking Mauro's side in this against him. I saw what he said, and probably he's either friends with Beth or Nigel or one or both, or maybe he just, would like, because Mauro sometimes, like me, can overshadow the broadcast. And I didn't think it was, suggesting that he should end his career or, resign from his job or whatever I don't see how that's bullying, but I'm not in the same position that Mauro's in. I don't know how he feels, but if you're going to, obviously, as we know, especially as I know, if you're going to be in public life, somebody is going to say something bad to you, whether it's somebody that works with you or somebody that doesn't like you or whatever the fuck. I think Mauro's a better announcer than Corey Graves, just from what I've heard. But I don't see what Corey Graves said that would be so. It wasn't like, you fucking suck, you're overpaid, you're a miserable piece. It's something I would have said to an announcer I didn't like, right? It was like a backhanded, hey, if you'd ever shut up, we'd hear these other two guys. Well, in the wrestling business as a whole, the things that were said to people, to each other, whether in joking or serious fashion, or even sometimes that it sparked a little fucking kerfluffle or scuffle in the locker room or two amongst guys, was so much more over the valley and beyond the fucking farm than shit that's said today that people's heads blow up about, that I just can't. Maybe that's why people are so astonished at my repartee, because they haven't heard it in so long, or were never in the environment where they did hear it. Because I got news for you. If you people think I say some horrible shit in public, you ought to hear people say shit that I've heard say in fucking private, for fuck's sake. Which is why I don't really consider my shit that far over the top.
But with a situation like this, obviously, if you're in the public eye, you're going to hear it at some point from fans or people out there who, aren't your coworkers. But what about when it is a coworker, when it's someone supposed to be on the same team with you, under the same umbrella, obviously aware that maybe there are some issues where that sort of criticism would trigger something? It is a little bit of a different scenario from that end.
Also, the thing is, you never had a situation where the guys could criticize the other guy's shit in front of the fans before Twitter, right? Or at least before the podcasters, social media, internet age, whatever.
Can you imagine Tully Blanchard on Twitter in 1988?
Oh my! Well, no, because it would have entailed smartening people up to the business. Except, then they wouldn't have had to have, because he would. Oh yeah, he would have goddamn. The baby faces would have probably legitimately lined up if Tully could have worked his gimmick on Twitter. his 88 gimmick on Twitter in 2019, the baby faces would either be lining up to fucking hire a hitman for him, or would all be lining up on the cliff to jump off of it, because he would have belittled them to the point of just fucking. Anyway, but once again, I would have, if I was Mauro, and I'm sure we're both happy that that's not the case from either side, fucking zip him back. If you ever need any hints on your show, pal, come to me and I'll give you some tips. I don't know what the fuck. I'm not Mauro, but once again, it was not nearly the most offensive, worst insult I've ever seen. And probably the thing is, for Mauro, to go to fucking, well, I don't know who the booker is anymore, but if you go fucking Helmsley, I don't know.
He works for Triple H. He works specifically for NXT and Triple H.
Okay, but see, that's the thing, is like this guy works for this guy and this guy works for that guy. At least we could always go if in those days, if you had a problem in the locker room with somebody in the company, which is basically in the locker room or an announcer, you either went to the booker, the only one, or like a Dusty Rhodes, or the boss, the only one, like a Jim Crockett or a fucking Watts or whatever. And probably the burden should be on whoever's running this fucking thing to tell Corey Graves, hey, don't criticize the same fucking team. If you want to knock other people, whatever their policy is. But he was being a smart ass to do it in public, instead of, unless we don't know this, and this has been a thing that Corey Graves has been doing every week, going to Mauro Ranallo. Would you let these guys talk? Is it a bone of contention that they've been speaking about? And this wasn't just an isolated comment. And he's been expressing his opinion, and Mauro's obviously not been listening to it, and maybe that's why he made I don't fucking know. But as far as bullying, nobody's ever been bullied or heard a bullying comment if that is a bullying comment. And I mean, yeah, I've had a lot worse said to me in fucking third grade.
I have heard people opine, and you'd be a perfect person to ask about this.
Good word.
Thank you very much. That Vince McMahon likes to pit announcers and people against each other. Do you think there's any chance, based on your knowledge, and you haven't been around there, on a day-to-day basis in many, many years, as we just discussed on the Drive-Thru, but do you think there's a chance that this could be a little bit of that, I was about to say The Office, but Vince?
No.
Saying, hey, needle him a little?
No, I don't think so, because it wouldn't be fun for Vince. Because at this point, Vince has got bigger fish to fucking fry, and I don't think he's around them that much. Mauro does NXT. Does Vince ever go to NXT?
Well, takeovers. I don't know.
The point I'm making is it would be somebody. He does love to pit people against each other, but it would be somebody more important to him, such as pitting Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels against each other, have the edge on television, where they really don't like each other, or pitting his writing staff against each other to outperform each other or whatever, and he gets something out of it. But no, just to fuck with him like he's fucking Finkel. No, I don't see Vince reaching that far out of it, going to that much trouble to fucking instigate any trouble between announcers that he probably still considers, brash rookies, in the whole scheme of things.
Coming out of this, there were a few Twitter exchanges between Corey Graves and Dave Meltzer, Corey Graves and Brian Alvarez, Corey Graves and Frank Shamrock, who's the manager of Mauro Ranallo.
And that just tickled me when I saw that Frank Shamrock is managing Mauro Ranallo. It's like the fucking bizarro world. I'm not knocking either guy. I like both of them, but I'm saying didn't in that equation, wouldn't it Mauro Ranallo fit the role of manager better and Frank Shamrock fit the fucking client instead of the other way around? It'd be like Bobby Eaton coming to ring manage me.
You would think so, but my question when it comes to that is, so the Mauro tweet happens, and then you start seeing people fire back at him, and he starts firing back at them. And from my perspective, he didn't look very good in these exchanges. I thought Dave and Brian and Frank owned him on Twitter in these exchanges. So now you have your talent, your on-air talent, your announcer in these Twitter spats, and he's not necessarily looking too good in it. What would you do if you were in charge? Would you say, get off fucking Twitter? How would you handle this?
Well, yes. And see, that's the thing. If Corey Graves is going to do a WWE television program, he's got to, recognize what everybody else does. You got to do what they tell you to do. If you're going to wrestle for them or fucking do their TV or whatever. And especially if he's going to get fucking batted down by outside forces all the time and look even worse, just fucking drop it. I don't equate, and everybody, Cornette has all these Twitter views. Well, I'm not working, obviously not working for any company. No, I'm not working for anybody and didn't fucking particularly fucking request work for the ones I have, but I was doing my thing and giving my opinion, but it's not like I'm knocking a member of my team. Right? I'm giving my opinion as an independent fucking experienced observer, to use a punny word, about wrestling in general instead of specifically knocking somebody on my team. So yes, I would think the office would say, hey, what's he saying since then with these other guys? Is he trying to, is he just fucking with them or just trying to defend what he fucking said as not being that fucking offensive, which I can understand that point of view.
Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. I'll give you the exact quote so I don't get this.
Well, goddamn, I'm not sure I really wanted to fucking know this bad, but go ahead if you have to.
I'm pulling it up. So I guess the first tweet that started it all was Corey Graves saying, just for the record, guys, I know you wouldn't know it, but there's actually a WWE Hall of Famer and a former Ring of Honor champion on commentary. I'd imagine they have a lot to offer. Hashtag NXT TakeOver War Games. And he received a ton of criticism for that because, again, Mauro deleted his account. He wasn't on the Survivor Series the next day, and reportedly he was supposed to be. Dave Meltzer, I don't know if there was anything Dave tweeted about this, but I know Dave had talked about it on his program, and Corey responded to Dave with, it looks like a little wave emoji of a hand, and I don't know how I feel about grown men using emojis.
How does this happen? Where do they come from? How do you get an emoji on there anyway?
The tweet says, Dave Meltzer, you uninformed, false narrative pushing liar.
What? Well, goddamn, just cut straight to the fucking point.
My phone works. You're a quote, there's quotes here. You're a quote journalist, right? You can find my number. And Dave responded, now that we're on day 3 of this, you could at least apologize to Mauro, show a slight bit of remorse, take down the tweet, all of the above. When you mess someone up on your own team, don't think only about yourself first, second, and last. And Frank Shamrock replied, apparently Corey Graves a few days earlier had tweeted out an image that Ice-T, the rapper and now actor, had tweeted out that says, social media has made too many of you comfortable with disrespecting people and not getting punched in the mouth for it. So Frank Shamrock took that and replied to Corey Graves with it. And then
he sent Corey Graves what Corey Graves had sent out a few days beforehand.
That's right. And Corey responded, Frank, did you approve this tweet with Meltzer? Instead of calling me or actually coming to TV to discuss things like grown men? To which Frank replied, your tweet, buddy, not mine. Call me anytime or stop by. Happy to chat. I'm in LA.
He shouldn't knock a member of the same company, the same team, as they said. You can't call that bullying because that was a goddamn smartass remark. I don't know what position Mauro's in. He's had issues, and maybe that magnifies things. And then he should, I don't think he should run and delete his account off of social media because nobody's going to take Corey Graves' side against his. I think he ought to sit there and watch all the people blister Corey Graves. But it just is this the most, on anybody's side, is this the most important shit going on these days? What the fuck? I see constantly people's heads now exploding every time that somebody is an asshole. And are we just now finding out that the majority of people are assholes, and the whole thing, the reason why that it's gotten worse is because there's more people and they can talk to each other easier. So you can find out how much that everybody pisses you off and what a dick most people are. But this is not fucking shocking goddamn statements or behavior to anybody who's actually been talking or around people for around the last 40 fucking years. I already knew this a long time ago, and this is tame shit. Everybody's a dick. Most people annoy you. Brian Last, can you not say that if you just thought right now, just off the top of your head, can you think of as many people that you enjoy being around as that piss you the fuck off?
No, but to be fair, I'm a massive asshole.
Okay, but you and I don't ever have any problems.
No.
Well, there you go.
All right.
But anyway, the point is more people are fucking assholes than not. And that's why that there's more problems, because there's more people. We're all closer to each other. And now we can talk to each other easier. And instead of trying to solve that by doing what I basically do, which is talk to as few people as fucking possible, this social media has us on purpose talking to more people. So naturally, we all hate people worse. And every time somebody says something, you take it, oh, goddamn. But yeah, it's the result of people being fucking dicks.